The battle has reached its end, my beloved child, and I have come beside you in this moment to help you recognize that the days when you were surrounded by pressure, confusion, and exhaustion no longer have the authority to determine the road ahead. Your outward circumstances may not change immediately in the way you expect, but in the hidden realm, a verdict has already been established, and the balance has begun to turn toward the light. The things that once kept you constantly on guard are losing their strength. What once kept you awake through the night can no longer imprison you within the same old cycle. I am not asking you to deny what you have endured, nor am I asking you to pretend that your pain never existed. I only want you to understand that those trials have completed their purpose, and you no longer need to live as someone still being pursued by what has already been defeated. Throughout this long journey, you continued walking many times without any evidence that things would become better. You continued praying when silence surrounded you, continued to act with integrity when no one was watching, and continued believing even when everything before your eyes appeared to contradict your hope. I saw every moment when you sat alone, gathering enough strength to continue, and every time you smiled to reassure others, while you yourself desperately needed someone to strengthen you. Not one of your tears was forgotten, and not one moment of perseverance was considered meaningless. Every day you refused to surrender became a stone laid upon the road leading to this victory. Therefore, what is approaching is not a random reward, but the result of a profound process formed through your faithfulness, patience, and quiet courage. There were times when you wondered why the pressure had to continue for so long, why one lesson seemed to return in different forms, and why, after every moment when you believed you had finally been released, you found yourself facing another trial. I understand that weariness, but you must know that those repeated patterns did not come to punish you. They came to reveal the places within you where fear still held influence, where the judgments of others could still shake you, and where truth still needed to strengthen you. Each time you responded differently. Each time you chose calmness instead of panic, and wise silence instead of meaningless argument. Another old chain was broken. Today, you are no longer someone who can be defeated by the same methods that once overwhelmed you. You have grown through the very things that caused you pain, and that growth is evidence that the season of battle has fulfilled its purpose. What you once called delay was actually the time I used to enlarge your capacity. There were things that, had they arrived too early, would have exhausted you because you did not yet know how to preserve them. There were doors that, had they opened before the appointed time, would have drawn you back into old habits. There were connections that, had they appeared while you were still desperate for approval, would have caused you to exchange your peace for a sense of belonging. Therefore, I did not hurry. I allowed time to develop discernment within you so that you would no longer be attracted to every beautiful promise or cling to every opportunity out of fear that another would never come. Now you have learned to recognize what brings clarity and what merely creates temporary excitement. That preparation was not wasted time. It was the foundation that would enable you to enter the new season without losing yourself. You may be feeling something unusual, weariness within you. Yet at the same time, an expectation that is difficult to name. One part of you remembers former disappointments and remains cautious, while another part has begun to sense that the atmosphere is changing. This is because you are standing at the boundary between two seasons. Behind you are the days when you struggled merely to survive. Before you is a season in which you will learn to live in peace and receive goodness without constantly preparing yourself for loss. This transition may confuse you because you have become so accustomed to being strong, so accustomed to managing everything alone, and so accustomed to feeling that something could go wrong at any moment. But I am teaching you a new rhythm of life, one in which you do not have to strain yourself to control every outcome, where rest is not weakness, and where you can trust that you are still being protected even when you are not continually fighting. Victory will gradually become visible through very specific changes. It may appear in the form of a relationship that no longer has the power to wound you as it once did. A new door opening when you have finally stopped forcing it. Or a clarity that helps you make a decision you once continually postponed. You may notice yourself awakening with a lighter mind, no longer obsessed with old scenarios and no longer feeling compelled to explain yourself to everyone. Do not despise these changes. Great liberation often begins through quiet movements within before it is reflected in outward circumstances. When your inner world is no longer ruled by fear, the things that once used fear to control you will also lose their power. This is when you will understand that victory is not only a change in circumstances, but also the fact that you are no longer a prisoner of those circumstances. Nevertheless, I want you to enter this new season with humility and awareness. Victory is not permission to look down upon those who once doubted you, nor is it an opportunity to return and prove that they were wrong. You do not need to carry your new achievements into old arguments. What I give you will be bright enough to speak for itself, and your peace will answer more powerfully than every explanation. Allow the past to remain where it belongs. Do not return to closed doors merely to seek recognition from people who once failed to value you. Do not use new blessings to soothe old pride. I did not lead you out of battle so that you would continue living with the posture of someone seeking revenge. I led you out so that you could become one who carries calmness, gratitude, and the ability to strengthen those who are still walking through what you have already endured. I also remind you that not every positive sign must be seized immediately. When things begin to move, you may see many opportunities appear at once, but your wisdom must move ahead of your excitement. Let peace guide you. Do not allow the fear of missing out to pull you back into hasty decisions. What belongs to you will not require you to betray your principles, lose your self-respect, or live in constant confusion. The right door may require courage, but it will not demand that you become someone else in order to enter. Observe the fruit of every choice, the way it affects the clarity within you, and the direction in which it leads you. I did not bring you out of one battle merely to allow you to step into a trap wearing a more beautiful appearance. Now allow yourself to breathe deeply and lay down the armor you have worn for so long. It protected you during difficult days, but you do not need to carry it into every room of your future. Learn to receive sincere people without doubting every gesture. Learn to rejoice without fearing that joy will be taken away. And learn to rest without feeling that you are wasting time. This new sense of safety may feel unfamiliar at first because you have become accustomed to instability. But do not mistake peace for the silence before another storm. I am healing the habit within you that is always waiting for something terrible to happen. You no longer have to live with tense shoulders and a heart constantly prepared for danger. This season will teach you that stability is also a gift and that you are fully worthy of walking within it. My beloved child, the end of the battle does not mean that the days ahead will contain no challenges. It means that new challenges will no longer encounter the person you once were. You possess deeper discernment, stronger endurance, and a greater ability to rise. What once could have crushed you now has only enough power to remind you how far you have come. Walk forward with the calmness of one who knows they have been trained, while preserving the gentleness of one who has not allowed hardship to harden their heart. I walked beside you through the darkest days, and I remain here as the light begins to spread. The results you are about to see will confirm that your waiting was not meaningless. Your prayers did not disappear, and every time you chose to continue helped bring you to this day. Open your heart to receive the peace, restoration, and new beginnings moving toward you. Because you are no longer standing in the middle of a battlefield, you are entering the land of maturity, freedom, and victory that has long been prepared. The past has repeatedly tried to call you by the name of old wounds, but it has no authority to determine the next chapter of your life. The mistakes you once made, the disappointments that caused you to bow your head, and the times when you were wounded are not sentences permitted to follow you forever. I do not view you through your weakest moment, nor do I hold you inside the image of the person who once stumbled. I see what you are learning, the strength being formed, and the maturity quietly growing after every difficult day. You may remember what has passed in order to receive its lesson, but do not continue living as though the past still holds the key to your future. The door before you is not opened by perfection, but by the courage to rise, honesty with yourself, and the determination not to allow pain to continue governing your new decisions. I have prepared a path that will lead you into a peace deeper than anything you have known. It is not a life completely free of difficulty, but a life in which difficulty can no longer easily steal your stability. I am leading you toward a place where you can breathe without always fearing that something bad is about to happen. Rest without feeling guilty, and enjoy good things without worrying that they will immediately be taken away. You have lived in a defensive posture for so long, preparing yourself for disappointment until peace itself sometimes feels unfamiliar. But, my beloved child, unfamiliar does not mean wrong. You may simply be unaccustomed to being safe, unaccustomed to days when you do not have to fight, and unaccustomed to a rhythm of life that does not require you to prove your value through exhaustion. The new season is approaching with greater lightness, not because you have avoided responsibility, but because you have learned not to carry what does not belong to you. You will begin to recognize that you do not have to explain every decision to everyone, rescue people who do not want to change, or continue knocking upon doors that have repeatedly caused you pain. Each step will become clearer when you stop allowing guilt, fear of abandonment, and the desire for approval to determine your direction. I will teach you to distinguish kindness from unwise self-sacrifice, perseverance from stubbornness, and waiting at the right time from holding tightly to something whose season has ended. When you understand these differences, peace will no longer be a temporary moment. It will become the foundation supporting the way you live. You may not yet see how everything is connecting. You see only scattered pieces, a delay, a separation, a changed plan, or an opportunity that suddenly disappeared. But I see the picture those pieces are creating. I have quietly used even the things you did not desire to lead you away from places that no longer belong to you. Certain people leaving taught you how to stand. Certain rejections forced you to discover new abilities. Certain periods of loneliness helped you hear more clearly what truly mattered. These experiences do not suddenly become pleasant simply because they produced lessons. But they are no longer meaningless. I am gathering every detail that appeared lost and placing it in its rightful position. And one day you will understand that the journey was never as chaotic as you believed. I am speaking these things to you now because you have become mature enough to see beyond what appears upon the surface. In the past, you often judged an event too quickly according to your first emotion. An open door caused you to believe something was good, while a closed door caused you to believe you had been rejected. Someone coming near made you assume they had to belong in your journey, while someone leaving made you believe you had failed. But now, you have learned that not everything easy is guidance, and not every difficulty is a sign that you should turn back. You are becoming more discerning, learning to observe long-term fruit rather than chasing temporary feelings. This discernment will protect you from choices that appear attractive but quietly steal your peace. Do not doubt the stillness beginning to settle within you. You became so accustomed to chaos that when the noise begins to fade, you may think something is wrong. You may notice that you no longer react as intensely as before. That one statement no longer causes you to lose your direction for an entire day, and that you no longer desire to return to an argument merely to prove that you are right. This does not mean you have become indifferent. It is evidence that you are healing. The clarity forming within you is not a passing thought either. It is revealed in the way you are beginning to know what deserves your time, where boundaries are necessary, and which relationships can continue only where there is genuine respect. I am restoring calmness within you so that you will no longer make major decisions while your heart is in turmoil. I am still supporting you, even on days when you feel nothing extraordinary. My care does not appear only through great events. It is also hidden in very ordinary things, a clear thought arriving at the right moment, advice that helps you avoid a mistake, a delay that prevents you from entering danger, or a sincere person appearing when you are close to giving up. You once believed that being supported meant every difficulty had to disappear. But sometimes support is the strength that enables you to pass through difficulty without losing yourself. At times, my protection is not the prevention of a storm, but the preservation of your foundation so that the storm cannot sweep you away. What is about to enter your life will not force you to live in continual confusion. It will not require you to exchange your dignity, peace, or good values in order to keep it. When a suitable opportunity arrives, you will sense integrity in the way it unfolds. You may still need courage, learning, and effort, but you will not be driven by the fear that everything will disappear unless you seize it immediately. What truly belongs to your journey does not need to be sustained through desperation. It will carry consistency, respect, and space for you to consider it with a calm mind. You will recognize the difference between what helps you grow and what merely excites you for a moment. For this reason, you must also remain cautious before promises of easy money, secrets promoted through the fear of missing out, and claims that a ritual lasting only a few seconds can instantly transform your entire financial situation. Do not allow images of beautiful houses, expensive cars, or luxurious journeys to persuade you to place your trust in something that has not been verified. When people urge you to click a link before it disappears, act immediately because a website is supposedly about to be closed, or believe stories connected to impressive institutions without providing clear evidence. Stop and examine what is being presented. Wisdom is not afraid of investigation, and truth does not need to manipulate you through pressure. I want you to build stability through honest work, understanding, disciplina, and carefully considered decisions, not through advertisements that exploit your sense of lack. Sustainable prosperity begins when you value what you already have, manage it wisely, and refuse to allow greed to lead you into dangerous choices. I can open new opportunities, but you must also learn how to prepare, save, work, improve your abilities, and recognize risk. A miracle is not an excuse to abandon responsibility, and faith does not require you to believe every statement that carries a mysterious appearance. Sometimes the greatest miracle is not money appearing overnight, but being given the discernment not to be deceived, the patience to build one step at a time, and enough self-control not to spend merely because you want to prove that you are successful. Enter the new season with open eyes and a peaceful heart. Do not use the past to predict that every good thing will end in pain. Do not allow former betrayal to make you suspicious of every sincere person. Do not allow old failure to keep you from trying again with new wisdom. I am not asking you to become naive. I am helping you become discerning while preserving gentleness. You can establish boundaries without nurturing bitterness. Remember lessons without living in fear. And move forward without denying what you have endured. The past will become a teacher standing behind you, no longer a ruler standing before you. You will eventually recognize that the peace you have sought for so long is not found only in ideal circumstances, a certain amount of money, or the presence of a particular person. It begins when you stop fighting against yourself. Stop punishing yourself for what has passed, and stop attempting to control what lies beyond your reach. I am leading you toward a place where you know you are cared for while still living responsibly. Know you are protected while still walking carefully. And know the future contains hope without chasing promises that lack a foundation. When what belongs to you appears, it will confirm the maturity I have formed within you. You will not need to hurry, fear, or lose your calmness in order to keep it. You will receive it with open hands, deep gratitude, and the steadiness of one who finally understands that they no longer belong to the former days. There were moments when you stood very close to the edge of surrender, so close that you believed one more measure of weariness would make it impossible for you to continue. I saw you during the long nights when you no longer had words with which to pray, and on the days when you kept moving while carrying only a fragile thread of hope within. Many times, you wondered why you should continue when there was no sign ahead that anything would change. Yet even in the midst of that exhaustion, there remained a quiet voice asking you to stay one more day. Take one more step, and not release your grip at the very place where you were drawing near to what had been prepared. That voice was not an imagination created by your mind to comfort itself. It was my presence carrying you through every breath, keeping you from sinking, and leading you through the storm you once believed you had no strength to survive. That storm did not come to destroy you, even though there were moments when it caused so much pain that you believed everything within you had shattered. It came to reveal an endurance you did not know you possessed. When every visible outcome was uncertain, when justice seemed to turn away, and when the things you did with your whole heart went unrecognized, you still had to choose who you would become. You could allow bitterness to change your nature, Or you could hold on to what was right, even when no one stood beside you to confirm it. You were tested not only by circumstances, but also by the temptation to doubt yourself and abandon the values that made you different. Yet even during your weakest days, you tried to prevent your heart from becoming cold. You still chose not to return harm for harm or allow disappointment to turn you into someone you did not desire to become. That quiet choice opened a profound movement that no power can reverse. Outwardly, everything may not yet be changing at the speed you desire. The larger doors may not have opened. Clear answers may not have appeared. And certain circumstances may still look the same. But do not quickly assume that nothing is happening. The most important change has already begun within you. The way you see a problem is no longer the same. Words that once easily wounded you no longer possess the authority to steal your peace. Delays that once drove you into panic now cause you to pause, observe, and consider more wisely. You have learned that not everything that happens requires an immediate reaction, and not everyone who misunderstands you requires an explanation. Some battles are won by refusing to enter them, and some doors are protected when you possess enough wisdom not to knock upon them again. This does not mean you have become insensitive. It means you have stopped giving control of your life to the things that once caused you pain. In the past, you often reacted from your wounds. Someone's silence could make you believe you were being rejected. One criticism could cause you to question your entire worth. One broken plan could make you believe that the whole future would also fail. But after everything you have endured, you are learning to respond from steadiness. You no longer allow the first emotion to determine the final action. You know how to step back before speaking, remain silent when words would only create greater confusion, and choose peace instead of trying to win an argument that produces no growth. Others may not notice this change immediately, but in my sight, it is a great victory. When a person is no longer led by former pain, that person has stepped out from beneath the authority of the past. You are no longer living as someone merely trying to protect themselves. You are living as someone who knows they are protected and can therefore act with discernment. Circumstances that once caused you to tremble may return in another form, but they will no longer create the same response within you. You will be surprised to discover that you can stand before what once terrified you while remaining calm. Words that once kept you awake will pass without leaving such a deep mark. People who once had the ability to make you doubt yourself will no longer easily pull you back into the former version of yourself. This is not because they have changed, but because you have changed. You passed through a fire hot enough to consume many illusions. The illusion that everyone must agree with you before you possess value, that you must preserve every relationship in order to prove you know how to love, or that another person's success is evidence that you have been forgotten. When these false beliefs fall away, what remains is someone simple but steadfast. Someone who knows what they have survived and will no longer easily exchange peace for acceptance. Therefore, do not view the season behind you as a meaningless road. It was not the final period in your story, but the foundation of a new chapter written through the maturity for which you paid a great price. This chapter will not be built upon the innocence of former days, but upon the discernment developed through every fall. You will enter new opportunities with eyes that know how to distinguish, new relationships with healthy boundaries, and new responsibilities with the humility that hardship taught you. What I give you next will require a stronger version of you. But you do not need to search far away for that person. That version was created during the very days when you believed you were merely trying to endure. Every time you rose, added another layer of strength within you. Every time you chose forgiveness, released you from another chain. Every time you quietly continued doing what was right, placed another stone into the foundation of your future. People may see you only as you are now, without understanding the price you paid to stand here. They may see your calmness without knowing how many nights you struggled to recover it. They may see your strength and assume that nothing ever touched you deeply. Some may even judge your journey only by what is visible upon the surface and conclude that you were fortunate or specially favored. But they do not need to understand your whole story before you are permitted to continue. Human understanding has never been a condition for me to complete my work within you. This journey has always been, first of all, a hidden conversation between you and me, where there was no audience, no applause, and often no one who knew how fiercely you were fighting. I witnessed the choices no one saw, the moments when you wanted to respond but stopped yourself, and the times when you could have wounded another person but chose instead to leave quietly. I never demanded that you be perfect. I was not waiting for someone who never became tired, never doubted, or never desired to give up. What I sought was your willingness to return after every moment of instability. I saw value in the fact that you continued walking even when your steps were heavy, held on to a measure of trust even when your emotions no longer agreed, and chose what was right when what was wrong appeared much easier. You gave me that willingness, not through great declarations, but by refusing to disappear from your own journey. Even when you believed you had nothing left to offer, you still brought something precious, a weary heart that had not surrendered. That is something I can use to rebuild everything. Because a person who remains willing to continue can always be guided into a new place,